What if I told you that the end of apartheid didn't really mean the end of apartheid? What if I told you that the systems we thought we destroyed were simply reshaped, repackaged, and redistributed under different names, with new faces? And more importantly, what if I told you that Cyril Ramaphosa, a man once hailed as a freedom fighter and union leader, might be sitting on top of those very systems? Before you jump to conclusions, let's talk. Let's walk together through this report. And as we go through, stop and ask yourself, is South Africa truly free? Is the average South African any closer to economic liberation than they were 30 years ago? Or have we just changed the paint on a rotting house? Smash that like button if you believe in asking tough questions. Drop a comment below if you've ever wondered whether liberation was more symbolic than systemic. And don't forget to subscribe for more truth-seeking content that peels back the layers. Let's start with land. During apartheid, land was the most violently seized and guarded asset. Over 80% of South Africa's land was reserved for the white minority. After the so-called fall of apartheid, we expected radical redistribution. But where is that redistribution today? Ramaphosa's government introduced talk of land expropriation without compensation. Sounded revolutionary, right? But how far did it actually go? Think about it. How many people do you personally know who have received land? And not just any land, fertile, usable, urban-adjacent land with infrastructure. Not many, right? Ask yourself, is the idea of land reform under Ramaphosa more performance than policy? Why is it that 3 decades after freedom, the same families and corporations control most of South Africa's land? Ramaphosa's administration had the political capital and the moral mandate to push meaningful reform, yet it stalled. Instead, we got endless debates, committee formations, and consultations. Was that real governance or delay tactics dressed in democratic language? If you're still watching, go ahead and share this with someone who thinks South Africa is a post-racial country. Let them join the conversation. Because the truth is, land inequality is one of the deepest scars apartheid left behind, and it's one Ramaphosa hasn't even begun to truly heal. Now, let's talk education. Under apartheid, education was weaponized. Remember Bantu education? It was designed to prepare Black people for servitude. After 1994, the goal was to create a unified, world-class education system for all. But fast forward to Ramaphosa's leadership and ask yourself, has our education system really changed? Are township schools providing the same quality of education as former Model C schools? Are rural learners given the same opportunities as urban ones? Why is it that learners in 2025 are still studying under trees? Why are school toilets still pit latrines in some provinces? Ramaphosa promised to fix basic education. He even claimed it was a top priority. Yet the statistics don't lie. Dropout rates are sky high. Teacher shortages persist. Schools remain overcrowded and under-resourced. How many young South Africans leave school functionally illiterate or enumerate? More than we want to admit. Is this incompetence or quiet complicity? Ask yourself. If education is power, who benefits from keeping millions disempowered? Hit that subscribe button if you think it's time for accountability. And comment below with your thoughts on whether your school or your child's school has improved since the ANC took over. Let's move on to economic inequality. This is where things get even more uncomfortable. During apartheid, economic opportunities were systematically closed off to the majority. Post-1994, we were promised empowerment, jobs, equity, transformation. But look at the data under Ramaphosa. Unemployment is still above 30%. Youth unemployment? Even worse. The gap between rich and poor has widened. South Africa remains one of the most unequal societies in the world. Who's getting richer? Who's getting poorer? Ramaphosa, once a union leader, is now one of the wealthiest individuals in the country. Let that sink in. Is that a success story or a symptom of elite assimilation? The ANC, under his leadership, often touts policies like Black economic empowerment, BE. But who really benefits? Is BE helping the masses or just enriching a politically connected few? Ask yourself, When was the last time someone you know got a job through BE that truly changed their life, not just on paper, but in real material terms? And how many times have you seen tenders awarded to the same names, cycling around a small network of elites? Like this video if you feel the economy still serves the few. Comment with your personal story if you felt locked out of economic progress despite the promises. Now some might say, but Cyril inherited a mess. State capture.
Corruption.
Zuma years. Fair point. But how much of that has truly changed under his watch? Have you seen decisive action against the corrupt? Or have you seen endless commissions, reports, and no jail time? Ask yourself, is Ramaphosa leading a cleanup or simply managing the decay? The people wanted transparency. We got commissions. We wanted justice. We got press briefings. Why is it that the big fish always swim free? And let's talk load shedding. Yes, it started before Ramaphosa, but under his watch it became institutionalized. Eskom, once a symbol of national pride, is now a byword for failure. How does a country so rich in natural resources struggle to keep the lights on? Is this just mismanagement, or is it by design? How many businesses have collapsed? How many students study by candlelight? How many families live in darkness because of a crisis that's become normalized? Think about the effect of constant power cuts on job creation, education, and mental health. Does it feel like a new South Africa or an extended crisis from a system that never really ended? Share this if you've ever lost work, opportunities, or peace of mind because of load shedding. Comment below with your Eskom horror story. We want to hear them. Let's return to the core question. Is Ramaphosa breaking the cycle of apartheid or reinforcing it? On the surface, he speaks the language of renewal, dignity, and reform. But policy is about impact, not intentions. And the impact, by most measures, shows deep continuity with the past. The poor are still poor. The wealthy are still wealthy. The rural remain forgotten. The urban elite grow more powerful. The racial wealth gap is now a class-based one, but it still maps closely along the old lines. Ramaphosa's presidency could have been the turning point. Instead, it feels like the continuation of a betrayal that began long ago. A betrayal of the revolution. A betrayal of the youth who fought and died for freedom. A betrayal of the millions who vote hoping for change. If you're still here, thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for questioning. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're ready to keep challenging the narrative. And please, leave a comment below. Do you think Ramaphosa is dismantling apartheid's legacy, or has he become a steward of it? Let your voice be heard, because democracy doesn't end at the ballot box. It begins with conversations like this.